Hello again, everybody. It's Harry Boxer, the Technical Trader. Monday night, August the 15th. As promised, we're going to review the box of shorts tonight. So I know there was a lot of stocks running on the long side, but we'll have to wait till tomorrow to go over some of those, provided we get some follow through. But I'm concerned that the market had a big week last week, another day up today, and that we could be entering or very close to it. Maybe a day or two away yet, but we are getting to a zone, and you'll see it on a lot of these charts. Stocks that have gotten crushed, box of short list that just came down and got hammered, and bouncing back sharply, but that's partially due to bargain hunting and short covering. But let's see how far that goes. On Bio-Rad Laboratories, this head and shoulders top was completed with the breakdown at the end of July. It ran from 115 down to 93. As you can see, this was the support zone. It bounced right off the 93 level and ran up to 103 today before backing off to 101.51. It was only up 4 cents today, so you may have already seen the top on this. If you take a look at this little bounce here, um, this may actually be a resistance zone that it reached to today before backing off. But still the possibility we get up towards 106 before 105 and a half, 106 before it rolls over. We'll see what the next couple days brings. CCMP, another example, topping pattern, broken down, reached and then reversed. This looks like a bear wedge to me. We'll have to see what develops into it. But right now, not very promising for the bullish side, that's for sure. And pretty negative technical. So if any further upside up here towards 41.2 zone, maybe in a shorting opportunity. Charter Communications rolled over hard from this topping pattern and now snapped back hard. You can see where support down in this zone held, and the stock is now snapped back not far from the resistance area up around here. So at around 51, 51 and a half, something like that, another couple points, and this stock may be due for a pullback. At the very least, even if these are bottoming patterns or V-bottom type patterns, they're going to have to do some kind of retest. Capital One Financial, another example of the topping pattern that broke down hard and then got slammed hard from about the 47.8 zone down to 35 in a very, very short period of time, and then snapped back with a vengeance for about 10, 11 points. We're right up against resistance now near 47. So any additional upside here, and this may be an opportunity to get in on the short side for a pullback towards the 42 area, at least. Dolby Laboratories been ugly all year and has dropped from the high 60s to the high 20s. Incredible drop. Spiking down here on heavy volume, but a spike here, as you can see, and then a reversal. But again, despite the fact that a lot of stocks have rallied sharply, this one has just more or less been an obligatory bounce with a bear wedge. Now it could accelerate and fill the gap and get up to 36.5, 37, but I wouldn't be surprised if it dropped dead right here and rolled over. FFIV, another example of the massive top that broke down hard. Key layer of support taken out, even a secondary support layer was taken out before the stock finally reversed. But overhead resistance now about 87 to 90 zone right here, maybe an opportunity to get short for a move down into the mid to high 60s potentially. If we do get another leg down in the market, these are stocks that I think would be possibilities. Now, on Graco, we broke down here with a big breakaway gap to the downside, took out 1 and 2 layers of support, went down to a third level, and then bounced sharply back to that last level. There is resistance right here. If we do extend, maybe 42-ish, 42 and a half, something like that would be the entry point for shorting. GenProbe, distinct downtrend, has snapped back to not only price resistance, declining 21-day moving average, but the top of the parallel down channel. So potentially an area to get short here for move down towards the low 50s. However, if it does break out and move up, secondary resistance up around 63 and then 65 are to be watched. IHS broke down here, formed a beautiful bear flag, right to resistance, and then rolled over. It got slaughtered from the mid 80s down to the 67.8 range. Bounced, double bottomed, and then bounced again. But now resistance up around 75, 77 zone is what we're going to watch for potential entry points. Informatica, INFA, broke a major rising channel here, bounced right back to the moving averages. Resistance failed, rolled over, took out support at the neckline of this potential topping pattern, and also the February high. Came down to test the February-March lows down across here. As you can see, bounced right off of that level and came back to the prior support, which is now resistance. So right in this zone and slightly above where the moving averages are is where you may want to consider shorting INFA. Notice that the rally here has come on lower volume. We're seeing that on a lot of stocks. That's what worries me. And a lack of thrust in technicals also supports the bear side. IPC, the hospital company, IPCM, broke down hard in July, snapped back to resistance, then failed and rolled over even harder to test the January lows in this support zone here. As you can see, has snapped back on lower volume with rather poor technicals. This, my friends, is a place to get short right in here. KRA broke the top with a big breakaway gap to the downside, took out 2 layers of support, took out a third layer, and then snapped right back to it. Pretty ugly technicals on this, although it could rally back up towards 28.9. I doubt it. I think the stock rolls over and retests at the very least and could get down into the high teens at some point. Pretty dramatic pullback for a stock that had such a beautiful rising channel last year. Look at that move. 13 to the high 40s, tripling, almost quadrupling. MCO Moody's Corp with a head and shoulders type top, a breakdown here, and a snapback, which also came on lower volume each day. Technicals look rather poor to me. And resistance in the 34.4.5 zone is where we get short potentially. Should we have another day or two of rallying. Netgear broke the top, came down hard, gap to the downside, bounced off of first support to the gap, failed and rolled over, took out that support level to the second layer of support, and then bounced here. Love to see this get back up towards 33.5, 34 on lower volume. That would be supporting a rollover, or at least retest to make at least a scalp on the short side. Open table down hard in May, rolled down pretty steadily in May and June. Snapped back finally at the end of June, early July, but then rolled over hard in the second leg down. We have 1, 2, 3, and legs down. Now a fourth leg back up. Could get a fifth wave lower down towards 50 before this little bear phase is over on this stock in particular. But we may also have some more upside for the next day or two that gets us into the high 60s, potentially. Parker Hannifin, massive top formation, big breakdown, straight fall away from the high 80s to the low 60s. Finally a snapback right to the first resistance zone, which is here. Secondary resistance at the gap around 74. 73.5, 74 would be a better place, but this stock could very well fail right here and roll over. Royal Caribbean Lines in a very negative cruise section along with CCL. This stock came down hard, all the way down to the support zone, bounced, retested, and bounced again. I'm not seeing this getting back to higher than 28.5, maybe 29 or so. That would be an entry point for me on the short side. Rockwell rolled over hard. Got slammed all the way down to 57 from the 90 range in just 4 weeks. Snap back here to the former channel bottom in this zone here. There's resistance right in here, and I expect it to pull back from that area. Scott's Miracle Grow, which is one of our short recommendations. As you can see, broke down here. We put out a short on it around the 50-51 zone. It rolled all the way down to under 40. Snap back, fill this gap. We have resistance around 46.5, 47, maybe as high as 48.5. But anywhere in this zone would be a shorting opportunity for at least a pullback of 50% and a 3 to 5 point downward move. And lastly is Timken, the roller bearing company, that massive top formation rolled over hard from 53 down to 32, straight down in 4 weeks. A very sharp snapback on short covering, in my opinion. The technicals rather lackluster, and although the price looks good, I expect this to at least to a retest down towards 35.5, something like that, for about a 4-point move. And although we may get up towards 44.5 first, I would look for a pullback retest or lower on this one as well. So you can see and this is only a sample of about 21 boxes shorts out of a list of about 51. So I tried to pick out some of the more obvious ones for you. Those are the reviews of the box of shorts. Talk to you tomorrow night. Bye-bye.